Good afternoon, D&D, TikTok, and beyond, and welcome to
Why is there so many laughing emojis? What are all these NPCs down here?
Roll for Sandwich, the series where I let fate decide my lunch. Let's go.
Also, why does this one look so funny on desktop?
I'll be using these dice that remind me of grapefruit snacks that were sent in by a viewer. Thanks. Let's get things started with our roll for bread. 6 tomato basil bread. Second episode in a row for the tomato basil bread. It worked out very nicely for us on Friday. Today I've toasted it. Let's hope we have similar luck on this Monday. Next up, let's roll for Maine. 10 corned beef. Corned beef has really been having its time in the spotlight lately on Roll for Sandwich, and I am not mad about that. I'll take a nice corned beef sandwich any day. Next up, let's roll for our cheese.
Corned beef in a while.
3 Swiss. Only a single hole in my Swiss today. Guess that means I got more cheese for my dollar. And I think Swiss goes pretty well with what we've got so far. Next up, let's roll.
Don't you buy cheese, though, by the pound? So, like, you still pay the same amount.
Roll for our roughage.
Just throwing that out there.
4 cucumber and 7 giardiniera. My cucumber was on the edge, but I was able to salvage some of it. I try to avoid things going bad, but you know, sometimes it happens. Giardiniera is a medley of pickled vegetables in oil. It's quite popular in Chicago, where you'll find it on sandwiches like the Italian beef.
More cheddar,
Many people prefer the hot
per
version,
square
but
inch.
I like the mild version.
Fair.
I think the corned beef will really shine with the giardiniera like it would sauerkraut. All right, it's time to get wild with the wild magic roll. 5.
Humanize it.
Oh, give it a name and a backstory?
I want, like,
and
do as
arms
much
and
as
legs
you-
and a face
and arms and
and-
legs and like as much as you can to like give it life, give it soul,
Dude, they
personify
gotta.
it.
Yeah.
I feel for him so much. You gotta never do this again. Like, it must have made monstrosities.
That's cool.
Yeah,
the amount of monstrosities that this group has
Cool, right?
caused
That's heavy.
and done to this
That's
poor
heavy. That
man
would hurt me real bad.
over this series
that's
is
quite the
unheard
prompt.
of.
I'm gonna have to think about this one. In the meantime, last but not least, it's the D20 sauce roll. 19 Tubby's Italian.
Thanks, Baca.
Tubby's is
Appreciate
a
it.
sandwich chain from the Metro Detroit area that's been around since the 60s. Their famous dressing is a Italian vinaigrette, and it's very tasty. Let's get our sandwich closed up here. And then we've just got to make our sandwich into a little guy. Yeah, so here we go. Everybody meet Tom. Tom likes hiking and doing the Wordle. I'm going to spend a little bit more time getting to know Tom, and I will be back here in a bit.
Wouldn't it be nice if we were older?
DMCA incoming. So I got. I'm not trying to get DMCA. Jesus Christ. What the fuck is that? The emojis make more sense now. Yeah, they kind of do. They kind of do. I feel like you should have covered the whole thing in tinfoil just to be. Yo, imagine being at the park. Yo, imagine being at the park right now, and this is what you see. You see a man playing with a doll. That's actually a sandwich dressed up as a doll, swinging around in circles. It really went the extra mile. I'm not gonna lie. I respect it. I would go in the middle of the night. Nobody would see me. Ah! DMCA jump scares. Oh shit! No!
Let's take a look at that cross section. Yep. I don't
No,
know
you're
what
gonna
to
eat
say
it with
about
the.
this one.
No.
This feels so wrong. Let's give it a taste. Yeah, honestly not bad. As suspected, the corned beef and giardiniera are a great pair. The Italian dressing melds seamlessly with the rest of the flavors, and the tomato basil bread adds a little bit of extra interest. Honestly, it's quite tasty. As far as the psychological impact of this, I'm gonna have to see. All in all, I think this one's gonna get an 8.5 from me today.
Jesus
and we're just gonna call it Tom.
Christ, dude.
Rest in peace, Tom. Have a great day. I'll see you on Wednesday.
Poor Tom. 11 a.m. to 11:45 a.m.
Good afternoon, D&D, TikTok, and beyond, and welcome to Roll for Sandwich, the series where I let fate decide my lunch. Let's go. Today's episode of Roll for Sandwich is sponsored by Die Hard Dice. They recently sent me a couple new sets of dice to check out. The first are these Sunshard Gold dice. They're shiny and they may look like metal, but they're actually polymer
Another
dice.
sponsor.
Which is nice because
Paid
most
partnership.
of the time I prefer to
Dude,
use
he
polymer dice than metal
farms.
dice. And these look epic. They come in a couple other colors, including pink. Now this next set they sent me does more than just look cool. These are Die Hard's re-rolls. They're made from all the plastic bits that are left over from the dice making process. So it keeps plastic out of the landfills, and every set of re-rolls is unique. Not only that, but 50% of the proceeds from every set of re-rolls will be donated to a different charity every quarter. So head to dieharddice.com and get yourself some shiny new math rocks. All right, let's get started with our roll for bread. 3 sub bun. The last couple times I've used these sub buns, people have said it's ciabatta. It's just got squared off corners. It's a much different texture. Next up, let's roll for main.
There.
1,
Looks good though.
Tempeh. First off, let me say that tempeh was at the #1 spot, not because I dislike it, but because it's an unknown. I've never had tempeh before, nor have I prepared it, so this will be interesting. Tempeh is soy protein and can be used in place of meat in many dishes. The package I bought said to fry in a moderate amount of oil until browned, so that's what I'm doing. Once it was cooked, I did take one piece off and try it by itself. It wasn't too bad. It was kind of nutty. It didn't really have the texture of meat. It was a little crumbly, kind of like if you made a meatloaf out of chickpeas, but taste-wise, I'd have no problem eating it again. Let's roll for our cheese.
I don't know about that one, dude.
6, ricotta salata. You may be familiar with ricotta as the soft cheese.
Dude, it looks like a 139. It looks like a really drowned Nature Valley bar that got like dropped in a puddle and left for weeks.
You may be familiar with ricotta as the soft cheese commonly used to make lasagna. Ricotta salata is that same cheese compressed into a block and aged. Ricotta is a pretty mild cheese. There's not a ton of flavor there. This aged variety ends up developing a little bit more flavor on its own.
I remember when I was a kid, like a kid to teenager, there was this little Italian deli that was down the street from my house. And like, we're talking like real hardcore Italian deli. And they had something called sharp provolone. And they would warn you not to eat too much of it because it would raise your blood pressure and make your face flush. I took that as a challenge. So I got the prosciutto rolls they had, like a rectangle of the sharp provolone wrapped up with the prosciutto. And then it sits in like an oil. And I ate a bunch of those. And I remember my face was on fire. You would literally put like an ice cube in my face and be like, not that actually, but like, you know what I mean? Like it was so hot because I could feel that like my brain was frying.
In the process. Next up, let's roll for roughage.
This was like 90 years ago, right? Shut the up, dude. How old do you think I am? Dude, I'm young as
Double twos, double apple. You know, I'm not quite sure what variety of apple this is. I think it's a Gala, but I don't remember. Either way, though, it should go pretty well with the ricotta, as there's not...
The last time I went there was iron bars on the windows and the doors. You know, I really didn't realize I grew up kind of like not in the best area until I went back to like where I grew up years and years later, and I noticed how many places were like barred up. It was like everything.
A ton there other than salt. And like I said, the tempeh is kind of nutty, so I think this will work okay. All right, time to add a little spice. 10, that's chopped for wild magic. Well, this won't alter the flavor that much, I don't think, but we're going to try our own version of the viral chopped sandwich trend. This is not the sandwich I expected to...
Wait, hang on. Did I... Wait.
Apple. You know, I'm not quite sure what... salt. And
I'm confused. How did we get to chop?
The tempeh is kind of nutty, so I think this will work okay. All right, time to add a little spice. 10, that's chopped for wild magic. Well, this won't alter the flavor that much, I don't think, but we're going to try our own version of the viral chopped sandwich trend. This is not the sandwich I expected to be our first chopped sandwich, but honestly, this might be a boon. I could see this helping the texture overall. Let's hope for a good sauce, because it's probably going to dominate. All right, and last but not least, the D20 sauce roll. Here we go.
You never seen this trend? No.
14, spicy pear mostarda. Mostarda is a condiment consisting of candied fruit, pickled mustard seeds, and a mustard syrup. Considering what's already on this sandwich, this is a very interesting roll. I can't believe we got the condiment with candied pear at the same time as double apple.
Shit.
We'll do our best to integrate our sauce into our mixture as well as we can. And then it's time to reintroduce our chopped filling to our sandwich bread.
That thing is going to be...
There we go. And then we'll do our best to close it up. We still got the hinge, so that's nice. Get our toothpicks in here. And let's go ahead and get it cut in half.
A nice chomp.
Let's take a look at that cross
guaranteed
section.
everything in one bite.
It's an interesting one for sure. This chopped sandwich is definitely an interesting concept. We'll see how well it lends itself to this combination of flavors. Let's give it a taste.
I'm mad that I don't hate it. I'm actually so upset.
Huh, well, this is definitely interesting. If you told me there were chopped up peanuts in this instead of tempeh, I wouldn't bat an eye. And that goes pretty well with the fruit and the salty mild cheese. Unfortunately, it's just a little bland. Maybe it needed more sauce, I don't know. This could be something with a little tweaking, but for now it's gonna be a 7.1. And I'm gonna call it the Chopped Fruity. Thanks for hanging out today, y'all. Have a great day, and I'll see you again on Friday.
That's actually one hell of an idea. I might have to try that.